the occasion of the 203rd Merseyside derby, a fixture first played out in 1894 and an occasion that always resonates with significance. I'm John Champion, alongside me is David Pleat, and we're in a city divided into red and blue. There is no such thing, today of all days, as a football agnostic in Liverpool. Part of the package on Derby Day is a terrific atmosphere, often a frenetic game, and almost always plenty of talking points. Steven Gerrard wearing 08 on the back of his shirt, as is the Everton striker James Beattie, who you'll see in just a moment. The reason for that being that for the first time in English football, the authorities have given permission for numbers to be altered. 08 refers to Liverpool's year as European Capital of Culture in 2008. Liverpool with the incentive of knowing that they will move above Manchester United into second place with a win, albeit they'll have played 3 more matches. For Everton, the carrot of possible UEFA Cup place. They're currently 6 points off the top 6. But after their horrid start to the season, it's pretty remarkable that they're in the hunt at all. And if you were to draw up a form table beginning on New Year's Eve, Everton would be top of the English Premier League. Steven Gerrard leading the handshake parade for Liverpool. David Weir skippering Everton today. And these are the teams in full. Just one change for Liverpool following their 7-0 FA Cup victory at Birmingham, and that's enforced. Jimmy Traore is injured, so John Arne Riise, the Norwegian, drops back, with Harry Kewell coming in on the left side of midfield. Again, Rafa Benitez has elected to use Luis García in support of Peter Crouch. Everton also make one unavoidable alteration. They've lost the Spaniard Mikel Arteta, who's got a jarred nerve in his back. Kevin Kilbannon is an obvious replacement. James Beattie, a striker in form with 4 goals in his last 5 games. Leon Osman and Tim Cahill have contributed importantly from midfield. And James McFadden has scored in the last 2 fixtures. Liverpool against Everton in the Barclays English Premier League. The headline game at the start of another weekend that will bring several issues much closer to a head. It's a much warmer day than of late. Winter is finally relaxing its grip in the United Kingdom. And the atmosphere as vibrant as you would expect. The two numbers 08, Beattie and Gerrard. James Beattie, who scored some useful goals of late. He's even been touted as a possible inclusion in the World Cup squad for England. Steven Gerrard, Liverpool's leading scorer with 19 goals.
Yes, there'll be many eyes looking at the qualities of Crouch as compared to Beattie today. It's a fascinating conundrum, particularly for Eriksson, the England manager, who's already really stated his case towards Crouch and towards his qualities. But I think there are other English centre-forwards who have banged the drum a little bit recently. Roberts of Wigan, people like Davies of Bolton. After all, we are talking about very much a cover forward for the games in Germany, as opposed to a starter, which we know, if fit, will probably be Rooney and Owen.
Clearance by Richard Wright, who continues to deputise for the injured Nigel Martin in the Everton goal. Alan Stubbs with the header. And Everton have gone back to the future, if you like, by having Weir and Stubbs alongside one another. Alan Stubbs left in somewhat controversial terms at the end of last season, joined Sunderland, played 11 games, but was very happy to come back to Goodison.
I think it's been one of the shrewdest signings of the season. I thought at the end of last season Van der Sar going to Manchester on a free was a tremendous signing for United, but Weir joining from Sunderland, where he had become a displaced person, has been a terrific signing for Everton and has really stabilised the defence. It's been quite remarkable, really. Two ageing centre-backs coming together and helping rejuvenate the team.
Well, Colban has come off worst in that clash with Steve Finnan. No foul given.
Interestingly enough, I saw another FA Cup game this week where Ekiog and Southgate, two very experienced centre-backs, also did splendidly, and it does beg the question sometimes. There's no substitute for a wise old head.
Combined age of Weir and Stubbs is 70, and interesting, they're both out of contract this summer. And they've received, they say, no guidance yet as to whether their deals will be renewed. Played in by Gerrard. Wright had the ball taken from him. Hyypiä challenging, goes down, looks plaintively at Phil Dowd, who turns away.
Hyypiä is such a danger when he goes forward for those set plays. It's been a rock at the heart of the Liverpool defence now for several seasons. The Finn, who came from Holland.
It's his 7th campaign with Liverpool. 364th appearance today. And a goal scorer after only 54 seconds at Birmingham in the Cup in midweek. One of the more obscure statistics to emerge from that 7-0 Liverpool win at St Andrews, the biggest away win in the FA Cup quarter-final for 113 years.
I just feel that if Hyypiä would have really gone for that ball, he might have connected and caused Everton a problem there. He seemed to hesitate, and the challenge was able to be got in. Liverpool playing with a 4-man midfield, but making that slight little change today. Garcia playing off Peter Crouch, and I think that his quick pace over short distances might be the reason why that Benitez has introduced him as opposed to Morientes, or indeed Fowler.
Here's Sissoko. Fouled fairly crudely by Tim Cahill. Momo Sissoko just happy really to be back on a football pitch after that horrible eye injury he sustained at Benfica in the Champions League. Couldn't see in his right eye for 36 hours, and there were suggestions he might not be able to play again. Carragher. Crouch. Garcia was lurking. It was Kilban who cleared.
Kilban always does such good work defensively. Hasn't been so productive in the goal-scoring stakes this season, but a resolute worker for Everton.
Hasn't been productive in the goal-scoring stakes for a long time. It's 70 matches since Kevin Kilban last scored. Now for Benitez, with that deceptive air of benevolence about him. No doubt that he's ruthless when he has to be. And David Moyes, about whom there were so many questions asked when Everton were struggling. They were bottom of the table at the end of October, still in the bottom 3 at the end of November. Bill Kenwright and company kept faith, and they're being repaid.
It was an incredible start by Everton. They literally couldn't buy a goal, and they were everyone's favourites, I think, to go down. There was many cynical pundits who were suggesting that the record of last season was one of playing above themselves. Of course, Carsley and Gravison were very important in that season, and they were absent, and they were vital cogs in the wheel, but they've managed to get through it, and I think Phil Neville has done a terrific job for them. Played a real captain's role, been called upon to play left back and now central midfield.
Won by Hyypiä in the air. Lost by Sissoko. And a chance and a save by Rayner. It was Cahill who had the opportunity.
It was a very good chance. He spun, and maybe if he could have got a bit more force behind that left-footed shot.
Kewell. In for Crouch. Garcia.
Liverpool just looked a little bit lazy here after Hyypiä heads it clear. That was a very loose ball by Kewell. Well, it's good work in the end by Xabi Alonso that just helped block the shot. Would be a shock and a surprise if Everton took an early lead here. We expect Liverpool to, buoyed by the confidence of winning by 7 goals in the week with a good shape, we expect them to monopolise the ball to a certain extent. They are the favourites.
Well, the bookmakers here in England are in no doubt at all. 13-8 on Liverpool. Everton 5-1. Liverpool with a home record surpassed only in English Premier League terms by Chelsea this season. Just 1 defeat. And this is the hardest place in the English Premier League for opposing sides to come and score. Liverpool have conceded only 6 home goals this season, 4 of them against Chelsea. 13 clean sheets in 16 home fixtures.
There's one thing for sure about Benitez, he does work on his defensive organisation. They're very good at holding the line. The relationship between Hyypiä and Carragher has been outstanding. I saw them very early in this season play a very ordinary team, Anderlecht from Belgium in the Champions League, and they just couldn't get in their half. Every time they played a forward ball, there was pressure on the ball, made them play hurriedly, and Hyypiä and Carragher stepped up. The ball entered the grass behind them, and there was an offside decision invariably, and they just kept forwards away from Pep Reina's goal. And he's had a wonderful season, Pep Reina, but that's not in any small measure due to the terrific work in front of him by the back 4 and the middle 4 and the 2 front workers too.
Here's Cahill. Went for the near post.
Well, a little bit sloppy once again when Hibbert plays that ball forward. There was a misunderstanding there between Hyypiä and Carragher, very rare. Cahill definitely should have hit that across the face. He could have done. He went for glory, he went for the near post, and his angle was too wide. Once again, Alonso tracking Cahill.
Yes, they've gone before Weir made contact with Luis García. Cahill, the opportunist, was a feature of last season for Everton. Top scorer with 12 from midfield then. He's now got 7 for this season.
It's interesting to see if Alonso is tracking Cahill, because I would have thought Sissoko would have been marking Cahill. Cahill is the one that gets into the box, finds those spaces between strikers and scores goals. And Alonso, the playmaker, one would have thought Phil Neville would be picking him up. So we'll have to see how that midfield confrontation pans out.
Garcia. Crouch. Time to turn. And he took too long, dallied on the ball. Osman slipped through. Chance here for Everton, but the flag's up. James Beattie's effort will not count.
But once again, Hibbert it was there, just a little bit sleepy there when that ball was played on the inside of him. He didn't step out to play him offside, and it almost got caught. It was a fine ball, and it was super play by Osman in the first place to rob Crouch and make progress. Good start by Everton.
For them to score 4 as they did against Aston Villa last time out was almost unheard of this season. With 28 goals, only 4 teams, and they are the bottom 4, have scored fewer in the Premier League this season. It's a foul, and it might be more than just a ticking off. Pushing away Luis García before meting out justice.
One of the unnecessary things that happens on the disciplinary front, in which the Premier League have got to look at a little bit closer, is the amount of players who go around a colleague and try and get involved or attempt to influence the referee when there's a dispute of a challenge. It's not good to see. Cahill hasn't the best disciplinary record. He tends to get yellow cards. He does play with his heart on his sleeve.
past the stage of the season now where the accumulation of yellow cards costs a ban unless you reach double figures before the second Sunday in April, and the only player at risk of doing that on either side today is Momo Sissoko, who is one yellow card short of a 2-game suspension.
It only proves really that the disciplinary process is a little flawed when you consider they have to have all those double figures of yellow cards to get a ban. Sometimes you think that a yellow card, which often the crowd bay for, which is a unsavoury aspect, I think, of our game, you have to say that the punishment for those type of players isn't very strong, and as a consequence that's why managers are happy to have those players who play with slight intimidatory instincts.
Reese's clearance blocked. Liverpool free kick. Peter Crouch, who went 18 games without a goal at the start of his Liverpool career and has now got 11 in his last 24 outings.
It's difficult to mark Crouch if you get very tight to him. It's literally all legs and a little bit of arms. Not easy to mark.
Gerrard. Here's Risa. That's guided clear on the half volley by Cahill.
Gerrard starting very much as a wide right and staying on the wide right, keeping the shape early on. You'll see after a while that he drifts in and complements the midfield, but tactics are that he starts wide. There he is, just making a break in from the touchline.
There is Gerrard. Xabi Alonso.
Chance of a clean shot, not challenged. Simple little backward of square pass by Gerrard. Good invitation to hit a nice direct shot, but very loose. Was very looking forward to the game because his pal was going to play, Arteta. Brought up together in Spain and great pals. They'll be disappointed they're not in opposition today.
More than that, next door neighbours in Liverpool's King's Dock these days. There's Gary Naismith appearing for only the 3rd time this season. His memories of the Merseyside derby will forever be tarnished by being the victim of a fairly awful tackle by Steven Gerrard back in 2002 in this fixture, which cost Gerrard a 3-game retrospective ban. The referee failed to send him off. Here's Osman.
Nippy little player Osman's had a good season. Talk of him leaving at the end of last season, had a contractual dispute, re-signed and has come good. Always pops up with a goal.
Herpia. Everton throw. A special welcome for the former Manchester United man from the Kop.
And one of his first touches in the game.
Sent off against Liverpool at Goodison earlier in the season. Well, trying to release Gerrard, beaten to it by Naismith. Kilban. The free kick. Fouled by Alonso. This will be a yellow card too.
Well, basically Dow, the referee, is saying he's got no alternative. I'm not sure. You know, okay, he's a little late. Did he go for the ball? Did he intently go for the man? Problem is, if he starts with the yellow cards in this first period of the game and the game stays tight and fierce, we could finish up with seeing the wrong headlines in the morning.
Well, there have been a flurry of red cards in this fixture. 10 in the last 7 seasons. Kilban. And another foul right under the nose of the referee this time. Again, Kilban the victim. This time the perpetrator was Gerrard.
Well, that's the point I make. He's just made a booking. Oh.
Well, he's produced a yellow and then a red, and Steven Gerrard is off.
Well, that's quite remarkable. No wonder the Everton fans are cheering. He must have thought that he lunged, he jumped, but that really has changed the whole momentum of the game. There we see Kilban going. He's got clear possession there when he plays it. I don't think so. I'm not even sure if he didn't get some of the ball.
I just wonder, when we saw the yellow card brandished, seemingly at Xabi Alonso, for the foul on Kilban in the previous incident, whether in fact one was given to Gerrard at that point for dissent, and that therefore made the foul his second bookable offence.
That must be the case, because I cannot see how he could give a red card for that challenge.
Well, he definitely produced a yellow before the red, which meant it had to be a second yellow card offence. First for dissent, the second the foul, and Liverpool are down to 10. Everton with the free kick opportunity, which they waste. It's cleared by Xabi Alonso. Weir with the header back. Risa robbed. There's Osman. Partially cleared by Xabi Alonso as far as Kewell. Now people are down on the touchline having words with the fourth official, Howard Webb, to clarify the position with regard to Gerrard. And what he is telling us is that Xabi Alonso was not booked for the foul on Kevin Kilban, but that Steven Gerrard was for kicking the ball away after the free kick had been given against Alonso. And that one yellow card was then added to by Gerrard's subsequent foul on the same player, Kevin Kilban, and that the reason for Steven Gerrard's 5th career dismissal. Hibbert in with a good challenge.
Yes, I was just saying, John, you know, everyone's got to be so careful now of a tackle. Hibbert went there cleanly. You must keep your eye on the ball, and if you're not absolutely sure of getting the ball, just hold off. Caution is the better part of your makeup when the game is hot like this. I mean, anything else against Liverpool, particularly at this stage of the game, would kill their hopes of winning it, I would have thought.
In by Hurpier. Headed down, was comfortable for Wright to deal with. It was Crouch who got his head to it.
Liverpool will have to play narrow on that side. It puts a greater emphasis on Finnan's work. Alonso probably will have to play a little bit wider.
And Kevin Kilban was the Everton player at the centre of both incidents, fouled twice. Phil Dowd producing yellow for Gerrard. There was the foul. Now Gerrard kicks the ball away, and that's where the first booking came.
It also highlights how stupid it is, really, to make a handball. We saw the boy Robbie Savage last week for an innocuous handball in the centre circle, which resulted in a second yellow card. There we've seen, I have to say, a somewhat innocuous kicking of the ball away. Gerrard putting him under pressure, but he knew he was under that pressure, and therefore his second challenge that he made on Kilban was stupid under the circumstances. And it puts great pressure, of course, on Dowd. He's really got to have a really strong influence now, particularly up to half-time on this game.
Interesting to see Sissoko playing without the goggles that he's been prescribed. He's been told he should wear them for 6 months. The word from the Liverpool bench is that they've steamed up. That's a foul. And there are some naughty challenges. That's Alonso, who might well have been booked for the first challenge he perpetrated on Kilban.
If we could get back to the football, John, I think David Moyes will be absolutely delighted with this start. Quarter of the game gone. Seen 3 Liverpool players in the book. Well, or 2 in the book, 1 sent off. And it's certainly put massive pressure on the home team now, because they're going to be light in midfield. Alonso's under further pressure late in the going to be under further pressure in the game. He can't afford to make another mistake.
So just to confirm, that is his first caution of the game, Xabi Alonso. We've seen the yellow card brandished on 4 occasions in total. Here's Tony Hibbert. Headed by Alan Stubbs. Pop feel that he committed a foul in rising for the ball.
Everton now just need to take the sting out of the game. They need to get the ball, play at a slower tempo, that's my view, not a quick tempo, because if it's a quick tempo it'll make the game fierce, and Everton players probably when that will get into the a swing of this physical confrontation. They want to look after the ball, use the extra width that they should have now with the extra man, and just try and take the sting out of the game and monopolise the ball.
Garcia! Nice try.
Richard Wright was comfortable, I think, with that one. It was fairly straightish, not with a lot of pace. But the important thing is Liverpool will have to take every goal chance that comes their way. They mustn't overplay, they must look for shots. They must try and push up from the back as well and try and play in the Everton half as much as possible. They mustn't sit deep. That will suit Everton also.
Steven Gerrard will get a 1-game ban for his indiscretion, which will rule him out of the trip to West Brom next weekend. Here's Leon Osman. And still, but eventually Carragher makes the tackle.
A good challenge by Carragher, but excellent ball manipulation by little Osman. Lovely little movement. Right foot, left foot, right foot, went between 2 Liverpool players. And he's keeping the width on this right-hand side, which will stop Risa buccaneering forward. And of course, with the man short, I don't think you can expect Finnan or Risa, the 2 full-backs, to go forward too much. Indeed, often when you go to 10 men, you may just say, right, let's just hold the fort here. You know, it's one of those days, we may have to settle at worst for a point. Early to make that decision, but Benitez will be watching very closely how the game develops.
And for Benitez, who's just seen Steven Gerrard become the 18th player in the history of the Merseyside derby to be red-carded, the 7th wearing the red of Liverpool. Here's Harry Kewell.
Very much Kewell's swinger, but once again correct to take the early shot. Just like Alonso earlier on, hit it with the outside of his boot. Going for power.
David Moyes, who has yet to experience a victory at Anfield, has been presented with an opportunity here. Now a decision for the referee to make. Phil Neville says he took the ball.
He certainly did. Neville, of course, is going to come under some considerable pressure, more than most of the other players in blue. Every time he makes a challenge, the crowd will be roaring.
Crouch. Guided clear by Osman. Beatty off in pursuit of Huppier.
Calm goalkeeping by Reina there, just taking the pace off that ball.
Crouch. Here's Osman. McFadden. Hibbert. One of the biggest games of Phil Dowd's career, and he's had a big decision to make. Booking Gerrard for kicking the ball away, and within a minute, adding a second yellow for a scything challenge on Kilban.
Certainly went in to shake Kilban, but I do believe that he tried to get the ball.
Risa.
Everton will look for quick use of the ball from Richard Wright, the goalkeeper, because if Liverpool do get balls into the box and he collects them in the air, there's always going to be a chance that they might outnumber Liverpool on a counter-attack. BT would be wise not to argue.
A message for Simpson in the upper Anfield road to make themselves known.
Gets up very early, and that's what he's saying. You know, I jumped for the ball, but I went up early, and was it Carragher made a little bit of a back for me, didn't make any attempt.
Pretty eventful opening half hour to the 203rd Merseyside derby. There's Finnan. Crouch was waiting, it was whipped away. Crouch is saying his shirt was being pulled. Phil Dowd is unmoved. And here's Hibbert. Beatty. Goes down, free kick.
Correct decision. Just think Everton a little bit sharper, but it's the team that keeps its poise and its calm that will win this game. If there's going to be a winner, it'll be the calmest team.
That was the penalty claim by Peter Crouch. Uppermost in Liverpool's minds now, defending this free kick. Taken by Neville. Carragher watchful.
Been in tremendous form, Carragher.
Jamie Carragher, who's taken over as skipper after the dismissal of Gerrard. One thing's for certain, he'll never buy a house anywhere near Liverpool. Missed by Sissoko. Beatty had half a chance. It's hooked away by Risa. Kilban.
Good in the air, Kilban, as is Beatty. And that's why those free kicks and those long throws are such a weapon for Everton. They play to their strengths. But I think Neville throws the ball in too flat, too square. I think he'd be far better throwing it towards the junction of the 6-yard box and the byline. So the goalkeeper can't get the ball there, and they may be able to flick it then across the goal for a forward coming in. In my view, Neville's throws are too flat and gives Reina too much of a chance to collect that ball.
Now, something else being set out of turn as Everton concede a free kick in dangerous territory. Alan Stubbs, born in this city. Kicked out by referee Dowd.
I don't know why, if Stubbs has been yapping, which he obviously has, talking out of turn, why it necessitates a 20-second lecture. All he has to say is, shut up, Weir, because next time you're going into the book, if you keep shouting, and get away and let's get on with the game. I would hate this game to be spoken about, not for the football, but for the refereeing or for the conflict. And disappoints me, because I love to see good football.
Here's a normally decent taker of a free kick, Xabi Alonso. Hasn't scored in 15 games since a spectacular goal from his own half at Luton in the FA Cup back in January. Bit of jostling going on involving Harry Kewell. One or two arms flying as well, right by the penalty spot, and the referee will come between the two. And remember, Alan Stubbs has just been warned for his misconduct.
I don't know what you expect him to do there. Kewell is obviously trying to get him at it. They can both be booked. They're both acting like boys. I mean, all Weir's trying to do is to get goals side there. He's trying to hold him off. And then Kewell starts it again.
Well, the yellow card has been brandished to both players. Here's Xabi Alonso at the top of the wall. Confirmation of the latest piece of work by the referee, who's now showed the yellow card on 6 occasions and a red once.
Well, had 33 or so minutes, and I don't think either goalkeeper has had to make a top-class save of any sort.
Osman. It's too strong for McFadden. They drift out for a goal kick. Sense of injustice burning within Harry Kewell after his booking.
Well, if you saw the position he took up after they were booked, then there was no need to stand with Weir. He could have stood 2 yards with Stubbs. He could have stood 2 yards to the right of him and given Stubbs the same problem. Garcia's drifted out slightly to the right. It's left Crouch more or less up on his own. Garcia semi-right. Hard game for Crouch. So they've still got their 4 in the midfield, so it's like a 4-4-1. And the support has to come from midfield quickly, but of course they've lost Gerrard and the power and the legs that he gives them from those forceful runs. Xabi Alonso may be the one to get something off Crouch and maybe get a shot or an effort in at goal. I don't think Garcia enjoys the wide right position so much as he enjoys meandering around the main centre forward.
Once again, Phil Neville runs the gauntlet. Garcia. Phil Neville will be delighted to see that ball trickle out again for another throw. At least he's not had to take it this time. Alonso. Cahill. Tony Hibbert.
When you consider Everton have only lost 1 of their last 6 games and had this terrific run, which John was talking about, since December, you have to say this is an ideal opportunity for them. They're not short of confidence, Everton.
Hibbert. Kilban challenging. There's Osman, who couldn't quite gather it in first time. But he's escaped. Alonso's challenge on McFadden. That's the Spaniard who has the ball.
I think Osman's footwork has been one of the features of the first half. He's been bright, he's got good movement. And sometimes the tough challenges that come sliding in are meat and drink to him, because he just sidesteps them with that clever little low centre of gravity he's got.
Neville. Cahill was rising. Came to Kilban, who goes down clutching his face. Luis García was the player with whom he clashed.
He's a very purposeful referee, Dowd. Here we see that, and yes, there's no question he's on the spot, Dowd, and he's been put terribly on the spot there, because Garcia's raised an arm, and that's a sending off offence, and of course there'd be absolute, well, I daren't say it, there'd be such problems here if Dowd sent another Liverpool player off this field, and it could happen. Everton must keep calm.
Well, Everton finished the derby earlier in the season on their home ground with 9. And Luis García is fortunate only to be lectured for that. Flailing left arm. Top end of Anfield. A bruising, attritional derby. Opportunity, though, for James Beattie.
It came off Osman. He's very adept at taking free kicks, is Beattie. That wasn't Osman.
Frustrated to strike his own player, nonetheless. You never know, David, if we watch for long enough, some football might break out. Swept forward by Cahill. McFadden. He's got Risa with him.
Risa must be very frustrated, not able to get forward and use that hammer of a left foot. Everton's tactics quite simple at the moment. Get well forward to win a throw-in, or fight to win a throw-in, and get Neville throwing the ball in. There's some more trouble, something I haven't spotted here with Risa and Osman.
I think Risa and McFadden had a bit of a disagreement after they tangled close to the corner flag. Domineering header by Carragher. Osman has given it to Kewell. Osman has it back. McFadden. Now Crouch. Stubbs has gone across. Sissoko. Alonso. Couldn't quite get there. First time or second, and this is Neville.
Been robbed once or twice, hasn't he, Crouch, when that ball is dropping. People are quick to get at him. He's got to make his mind up quickly. He's superb at laying the ball off and bringing his midfield players in. Just sometimes when he's caught dwelling, when he's running across the field with the ball, sometimes the quicker midfield players rob him from the side. And that's when he looks sluggish and, of course, becomes the butt of the crowd when he has those spells. He really needs a partner all the time, I believe, someone to play with, and he's been shorn of that today now because of Liverpool's readjustment.
McFadden trying to take the long way around Risa. Those two not the best of friends at the moment.
Risa's having a hard time. I thought he was a little bit sluggish at the start, and there you see quite clearly he's making no attempt to play the ball. Risa, it should be a free kick against Risa. You can only do that within playing distance of the ball.
And Ralph Bowen, the referee's assistant, was no more than 2 or 3 yards away. Offside. Scoring for Everton.
Well, I would like to see Everton just use a little bit more innovation on the throw-ins, maybe take a quick one and try and catch Liverpool short. Gives Liverpool a chance to get all their players back in the box and defend properly and with concentration. When you've got one ball coming in from a long throw, it should be dealt with if people are being marked correctly.
This half so far has brought precious few efforts on goal. No corners. 6 yellow cards and 1 red. There might well have been another red for Luis García. As it is, Steven Gerrard is the player dismissed for a second bookable offence 18 minutes into this game.
Looking for a really big game from Sissoko. It looked as though in the week at Birmingham he came back onto a very strong game, but not easy for him today. Of course, now they're a man short, but we need to see more. There you see Weir using Crouch's shoulders a little bit, but Crouch is used to that.
Crouch. Steered back by Naismith. To a goalkeeper in Richard Wright, who has an uncertain future with Everton and is mighty pleased to get a run of games to put himself in the forefront of the manager's mind. Nigel Martin so consistent when fit. Crouch. Should be a fair chunk of added time at the end of this half. The referees are supposed to add 30 seconds for every caution. And we've had 6 of those. Rueful smile from Kilban. Surprisingly, the word from the 4th official is only 2 extra minutes. Carragher. Cahill down and away, only as far as Xabi Alonso with time. It's a corner.
Well, Crouch, Alonso, Kewell have always all had efforts. All missed the target, all shot quite hurriedly, and that was Alonso's second effort at goal. Maybe a set piece, it's their best chance, Liverpool.
On the cusp of first half stoppage time. Crouch is arriving. Some diligent defending by Everton in the end. Cahill flicking it away.
First half, 2 minutes.
Crouch got round the back there, he got away from Stubbs. Be careful, mustn't get caught too square, watching the ball, half an eye on the man, half an eye on the ball, and know where your goal is. That's the key to good defending in that area. If you get too square, you'll get done.
Oh, and it's in. Liverpool have stolen a goal, and it's a catastrophic moment for Phil Neville. Baited throughout the half, and now Mr. Unfortunate as the ball was swung in.
Well, he got caught trying to get it out, and he couldn't adjust his position back, and then he's tried to go for the header, but I don't know if Richard Wright should have been a little bit more central to do something about that ball going in, but certainly the swing of the ball caught Neville. If it had been stationary, he could have attacked that ball no problem. He just edged his way out and then was caught trying to get the ball on its way back. Incredible, but set pieces are always going to be the opportunity for a team that's playing with a man short.
First time that Phil Neville has scored in the blue of Everton, but he scored for the wrong team.
Must be quite a shock to David Moyes, who was probably preparing a very steady and composed team talk. And now the picture changes, and Everton, even a man short, have to chase the game a little bit. Liverpool might now sit deeper and pull their forces back and isolate Crouch more, but at least they've got now a little bit of a foundation to build on.
It's a foul by Crouch. Here's Osman. Well, what an ill-tempered half, with a sting in its tail, provided by the forehead of Phil Neville. Philip Dowd has been at the centre of the tension, sending off Steven Gerrard for a second bookable offence. Luis García might well have followed him with a straight red for a flailing left arm, which didn't even receive a booking. But 6 yellows, 2 reds, and plenty of talking points, as well as a police escort for the referee. Just another chapter in the beguiling history of the Merseyside derby. This one, the 203rd, looks like this at its midway point. Liverpool 1, Everton 0.
See if Everton can spin this one round. It's a big ask, 2 goals against a team that very rarely concedes here. Terrific defence, but they're going to have to work very hard, and the midfield's going to have to play very well and protect their back four, because Everton should be throwing the kitchen sink at them in this second period. But initially, they'll have to be patient initially and try and get 2v1s on the outside and make the most of that extra man.
Here's David Weir, on by Cahill and then by Beattie, pursued by McFadden, and out comes Pepe Reina. Something of a change for Liverpool to have a man sent off in 31 Barclays English Premier League games this season. 12 of their opponents have been red carded. Today it's their own man, their own skipper, Steven Gerrard. Block was by Cahill. He really joined the Everton supporters in the corner there.
If he did join them, he may not have rejoined his colleagues. This is where Everton, when they do get the ball, they must try and avoid Hippier and Carragher's good head work as central defenders. They must try and get the ball on the floor, get an extra man in wide positions, try and...
In only the second minute of the second half. And look how far Pepe Reina's run to celebrate.
And it's not surprising. The odds are so much against the 10 men. Quite incredibly, I think it was... centre-backs, Naismith got caught. Bright Garcia. Did Richard Wright have to come? He was never going to be favourite. It was at an angle. Weir was getting across. I think Richard Wright should have stayed. I think he's made the opportunity clearer for Garcia, who's took it expertly. Quite an incredible start. 2 goals in 3 minutes.
Downfield clearance from Reina, flicked on by Crouch, finished by Garcia. Richard Wright culpable. Liverpool 2 to the good. And the man who scored the winner in this fixture, Luis García, last season, when Liverpool came out on top 2-1, has established a bridgehead for the home side, despite the first half dismissal of Steven Gerrard. That's the reason that Carragher is complaining. He felt that Beattie led with an arm. Free kick given on the assistant's say-so.
It was a good position that Crouch took there, pulling away on the wide right. Alan Irvine there, David Moyes' assistant. They'll be niggled the way the game has turned against them. Even 1-0 down at half-time, I felt they still had an advantage if they would have played cleverly and coolly.
In by Alonso. I'll let you assess for yourself, wherever you're watching this in the world, the extent of the Scouse humour. We've only got 10 men. What they do have is a 2-goal lead. And they're on course at the moment for a derby double this season. Kewell. Goalkeeper stayed at home, and it's Alan Stubbs who nods behind.
Garcia and Crouch ready to pounce.
Cop in ferment as Xabi Alonso goes across to take this corner. Everton faces will be as red as the Liverpool shirts if they're defeated by 10 men.
Well, it was good to see Liverpool there playing very positively, 2-0 up, but both centre-backs up for the corner kick, throwing men forward. Let's hope that we see a good half of football, and there's no ill discipline, particularly by Everton now. Will probably be very hot.
In goes Sissoko with Phil Neville. Another decision that goes Liverpool's way. Handball. Actually given against Tim Cahill.
Little harsh.
John Arna-Risa has taken an interest in this. Will it be that Alonso will just move it to negate the wall for Risa to strike? That's the plan.
Well, if the ball would have rolled just the circumference, Risa would have had a greater chance of getting the shot in, but if the ball rolls a yard or 2 yards, then they can get a block in, can the Everton defenders, and that's what happened there.
Finnan. Up against Kilban. Naismith. Xabi Alonso. Who was fouled there, was he, by Kilban? Yes, referee has blown.
Well, Kilban was the victim early on. Now he'll think he's being victimised. Clumsy. It was a challenge of a tired player, that. Quite incredibly, Liverpool have got the force at the moment. The goal was giving them a spell of attacking, which I'm quite sure they wouldn't have had they been hanging on to the one goal.
Alonso was the player fouled. He will also dictate this free kick. And it'll be followed by a corner kick.
And Liverpool winning the corner count clearly as well. Defending very deep in their 6-yard box, and Richard Wright sitting on his line. He has to come and take some responsibility when those balls are hit into those areas, and you still see Neville there shielding at the near post.
It's beyond him to Crouch. Here's Kewell. Sissoko. Finnan. Just get a flick, it did. It's a Liverpool throw.
Liverpool circling the box well, trying to keep the pressure on. There's Hippier trying to get in that area there where we were talking about earlier on, where Neville's throws for Everton were going too flat to the goalkeeper. That's a clever ball, a shorter ball. Still got the chance to cross it.
In by Risa. Now was Hippier pushed there. A big roll from the Kop. Here's Kewell. And he's won it back. Sami Hippier. Maybe too strong for Kewell. There's Hibbert. Sami Hippier is asking the question of the referee.
Well, Hibbert and Naismith, the Everton fullbacks, under pressure. They didn't expect to be. They should be raiding and making the most of this extra man, and now they're being pushed back. Liverpool doing to Everton what Everton did in the first half, get those balls in the box.
Garcia. He thinks it should be a corner.
Once again, Crouch putting defenders off with his height, trying to win the ball early. It was Weir on Hippier, and There's Benitez, very animated today. Local derbies mean local pride.
Garcia. Hibbert. It's a long time since Everton visited the Liverpool half. Sissoko.
Missing Arteta. Someone to pull the strings for Everton. Desperately need to get hold of the ball. Neville and Cahill. Neville, of course, is more of a defensive midfield player, and Cahill is more of a player who runs on off the front players. They need that ball holder in midfield, someone to make the play.
Kewell. Gary Naismith. Gilban's throw, taken by Reina.
Another wasted long throw.
Crouch offside.
Garcia still holding the right side.
Reina, who's taken great pride in keeping so many clean sheets this season. 28 in his Liverpool career before today, and it's only his 47th game. Neville.
I think the key for Everton to get back in the game is definitely Hibbert and Naismith. Must get forward. Take a chance. There was two centre-backs there, Weir and Stubbs. OK, they haven't got the speed, but they're playing against Crouch as a lone striker, and the full-backs have got to be prepared to go forward. Here we see the goal. All did Crouch did. He just got a little flick. A little bit slow, perhaps, Weir to come across and cover. But I have to say, the goalkeeper there was never going to get that ball.
Luis García goes into double figures for the season. Good day in the Everton career of Richard Wright.
Yes, he's often been a victim of circumstances, but his career has never really taken off on a consistent level. Injuries, conflicts at clubs. Thought of at one time as a potential England candidate under David Seaman at Arsenal. Went off to Ipswich, contractual dispute, and now at Everton, but has failed to unseat the experienced Martin.
Well, there's plenty of activity on the Everton bench, as we got a glimpse of there. And they are able to call on Duncan Ferguson for the first time in 6 weeks today. He's just finished a 7-match ban.
And the odds on a yellow card get higher. But the point is, you know, John, if they do bring Ferguson on, what's going to happen? More high crosses, more meat and drink for the defenders. Simon Davis also looks as though he's stripping off.
And Andy van der Meijden. Could be a triple change.
Yeah, well, I think they need it. They haven't created anything in the game. And when you consider that Gerrard went off after, what, 15 minutes or so? You know, it's a long time for them not to have worked an opening, a clear opening. They haven't missed an open goal. They haven't had a great goal chance. Probably Cahill early on with that left foot shot, which was semi-blocked by Alonso.
Hibbert. Cahill. Naismith. Kilban. Naismith. Everton have their first corner of the game. And it's taken an hour to arrive. David Weir joining Alan Stubbs and Tim Cahill. Out by Kewell was more or less unopposed. And Sissoko is leading the charge for Liverpool. Back by Hibbert as Stubbs. It's not the worst ball in the world to Osman. And Carragher back there for Liverpool. I'm not sure that the referee was wildly impressed by Rayner's punch. After the ball was clearly out of play.
They see the Liverpool line all pushing out, all following the ball out when Sissoko made the charge forward to challenge. And Carragher, Hippier, both in that 6-yard box.
Oh, and there's the goal back. And it's Tim Cahill, a master at the late arrival at set pieces. 2 against Villa last weekend, and now an Evertonian lifeline at Anfield.
Well, Everton are more than aware of the danger of Cahill. There was good movement in the box, he arrived perfectly, but I have to say Liverpool should have someone on that back post. That would not have been a goal. They've got 10 men back. They could have sacrificed one of the players outfield there. Empty back post, and 3 Liverpool players just looking on there as that ball entered the net from Cahill's. Good jump.
Next question for the manager, does he make the changes?
Well, I'd just like to thank the players for waking us all up and making a game of football in this second period, making it a little bit easier for Mr. Dowd as well, make it easier for the crowd to accept that they've paid good money to watch the game too.
Sorry boys, not for now.
Hibbert and Naismith the key. Can they get forward? Can they push balls into that box? Can they take more chances, Everton? They have to.
Only the 7th goal conceded by Liverpool at Anfield this season. 4 of those scored by Chelsea. That was out of play. It'll be a Liverpool throw. It's Cahill's speciality.
It's interesting to know who's got the marking job on him. It looks as though he's coming in front of Peter Crouch. Carragher will be upset about that one. Hippier's marking Beattie at set pieces. McFadden, of course, isn't the biggest threat in the air. Cahill is the goal-scoring threat in the air. Both centre-halves were up to add weight to it, but I still say that Liverpool had every outfield player back, and in that situation they should have 2 players on the line, other than the goalkeeper.
So the bullet points so far of the 203rd Merseyside derby. Steven Gerrard red-carded for a second bookable offence 18 minutes in for Liverpool. Phil Neville's own goal, first half stoppage time. Garcia's goal in the 47th minute. And now Cahill's header to bring it back to 2-1. All of that plus 7 yellow cards.
Yeah, not many decisions go against Crouch, because you can always say, I wasn't using my weight, ref, I've got no weight. But he's clever. It was a free kick. He was making sure that the Everton player couldn't head the ball. There's Risa trying to win a free kick too.
Yes, he was challenged by Cahill. Will be starring or hoping to star for Australia in the World Cup. Free kick given Liverpool's way, a little over-attentive there, McFadden.
Not really got in the game, McFadden, as the second striker who comes off the main front man. He should be looking to combine with his midfield with Cahill and Neville and develop a little bit more of the game. He's not the orthodox second striker, the goal-scoring type like an English Owen or an English Defoe. And I would have thought that if Moyes does make a change later in the game, Could well be that he goes for Ferguson and goes for the aerial route as opposed to McFadden. Whether it will work, we'll see, but we just spoke about the strength of Carragher and Hippier at corners, and then Cahill pops one in.
Also significant that not only were they going to send on their totem, but also in Van der Meijden in particular, a man to provide some ammunition from wide positions.
Yes, indeed.
Here's Alonso. Block was by Neville, only as far as Sissoko. Foul, free kick. David Weir, not one of the players who's previously been cautioned. Is it words or is it a card from Philip Dowd?
I think it words. Oh dear, it's another yellow. I don't understand why centre-halves have to come out at such pace to make the challenge there. That takes the momentum, takes them into the challenge, and they need to come out quickly but then hold their ground and stay on their feet. He's going away from goal. He didn't have to lunge, there's no question. Sissoko cannot get a shot in, and from that position he cannot thread.
Well, Weir is hoping now that he can be of assistance in assembling the wall. Stationed on the post to help Richard Wright at the moment.
Could be a bomb from Risa. It could be the subtlety of Alonso.
Finnan's crept forward as well. Sissoko's in attendance.
The Everton man must rush off the line and leave Crouch offside.
Alonso. Oh, off the woodwork.
Good attempt. It was that side of the goal that was left open, and the goalkeeper would have seen it late. Unusual there. If Liverpool put a player in front of the goalkeeper to counter the offside that Everton are trying to nullify by placing a man on the line, where's McFadden's off? It doesn't surprise me. He hasn't done enough. Big Duncan.
And Andy van der Meijden for Kevin Kilban is the other change. Dutch international, only appeared 7 times, came for £5 million from Inter Milan.
Yeah, heavy price for a player who played intermittently in Milan. Very pacey, not enough goals output.
And there's Ferguson. He hasn't scored in his last 30 games for Everton, but he did announce himself in Evertonian colours with his first goal for the club in this fixture in 1994. Garcia.
Wonderful, wonderful challenge there by Stubbs. Super challenge. Good play by Crouch, incidentally, on that byline.
Forward by Cahill. Ferguson's first involvement onto the chest of Carragher.
Over the years, you know, Ferguson has enjoyed these derbies. He's a big-time player.
Here's Kewell. Around Weir. Harry Kewell! Good save, Richard Wright.
Fine save. Low to his left. And you saw the nervousness of the Everton defender as he approached Kewell there, and Kewell went round him. Absolutely fraught with danger there. You saw how easy it was for Kewell to go round him. I think it was Weir.
It was. So Alonso with the corner. Risa.
It was a difficult shot to take. Wanted the ball to come down a little bit. Here's that lovely bit of skill in the corner there by Crouch. And what a chance there at that second when Stubbs came in to rob Garcia. Terrific challenge.
Everton still in this derby. Van der Meijden. It's Risa's header. Put in from Neville. Hippier. Crouch.
That's where he's good, Crouch. He can keep the ball, it doesn't bounce off him. Good first touch, keeps the ball well.
Kewell, Reese on his outside, Crouch waiting. David Weir stooping. There's Sissoko. Liverpool, remember, do only have 10 men. It hasn't always appeared like it. Steven Gerrard, an early casualty of a second yellow card. This is Gary Naismith.
I still don't believe that the Everton defenders are pushing forward further enough. Both the fullbacks and indeed one of the centre-halves could come out with the ball. There's only Crouch up there as the main Liverpool striker. They could be exerting more pressure on Liverpool, and they'll have to do in these last 20 minutes if they're going to get anything from the game. There we see Naismith slightly fortunate to win that ball. Benitez saw it.
Free kick. 20 minutes remaining. And Alonso, who struck the crossbar with his last set piece, taking the ball up. Risa. Strike the lateral run by Garcia, safely taken by Wright.
Yes, interesting tactic that, getting one of the forwards to run across the vision of the goalkeeper. This is where Hibbett should be going on to that ball. Another 15 yards, 20 yards further on. Has no effect there when he passes the ball into midfield from that position. Needs to be further forward so he can join in the attack and get further forward. Here he goes.
Stubbs has picked him out. Neville in support.
Strange when Neville scored the own goal. He was in a good position really to defend. He was shielding that near post area. He just took a body movement out to that 6-yard box, and then as he made his movement backwards, caught that ball on the top of his jump. Peter Crouch still smiling, had a traumatic season, but looks like ending in a little bit of glory for him, certainly if he goes to Germany.
Oh, Xabi Alonso caught by Van der Meijden. There's trouble here. Liverpool players incensed that Van der Meijden's arm was used in the challenge. It's going to be 10 against 10. Andy Van der Meijden sent off on his Merseyside derby debut.
Well, no wonder managers don't sleep at night. Make a substitution, give a player a chance to have an effect on the game, and then all your hopes go out of the window with a little bit of lunacy. If you're not a good jumper for the ball, then don't try and cheat to get up there and foul.
David Moyes looks dazed.
I don't know if he's dazed because he feels there's some injustice there and he didn't see it clearly, or he feels dazed because he feels, what am I doing as a manager when I've got irresponsible players like that playing for me?
I suppose the other question mark he will have is that he's seen Luis García do something very similar in the first half and get away with it.
Absolutely, but in isolation, the referee didn't make that decision. Just
no, it doesn't excuse Van der Meijden at all.
Two wrongs and the right, isn't it?
Fifth Everton player to be red carded in the last 6 derby games at Anfield. It'll be a 3-game ban for that for Van der Meijden as well, just as he returns to fitness.
Defining moment, could well be a defining moment. I don't know if Everton have created enough to suggest that they can get back in this game with 11 men. I doubt if they can do it with 10. I think what with the crowd now behind Liverpool with the goal advantage, would suggest there's more chance of Liverpool getting another rather than Everton getting level.
Garcia. In the first 104 years of the Merseyside derby, there were 7 red cards.
Oh, Ferguson yellow, push from the back. Stupid.
Maybe predictable. Just about to say, 7 yellow cards in the first 104 years of this fixture. 12 in the last 7 years.
And then the managers get called up for failing to control the players.
Well, Everton are only 1 booking short of an automatic fine for the number of yellow cards today. 5 players booked. Altogether, we've seen the yellow card on 9 occasions and the red on 2. Kewell. Now to fend off Osman. Xabi Alonso. In towards Crouch. Everton cede possession too easily. Kewell. And he too was caught a little late. Phil Neville.
It's not tacklers that Everton require at the moment, it's creators.
Sensing an opportunity coming his way, in by Alonso. There is Heppier! Liverpool 3, Everton 1. Just as it was at Goodison, except that Ralph Bone's flag is raised. And a smile turns to a rather bemused look on the face of the Finn.
Well, Hippier, we can clearly see, is not offside. And I'm not sure if it was Carragher coming around the back there.
But as things stand,
it was Crouch.
Unless Crouch touches the ball, he's not deemed to be in an active area of play, is he, under the current interpretation of the rule?
We can have an argument on that one, John, that he's very central, and you could say, although I don't believe that it would be a fair case, but can never prove it, that he might have distracted the goalkeeper by being in such a central position. But I go home and read the law book, you know, after every game, and I still find it difficult to make sense of it.
I bet it's that page, isn't it? Law 11, offside is the most thumbed
area. It's to do with offside. It's the most important factor in a game, and that's where the technology should come in.
Beattie's chasing. To no avail this time. Back by Carragher. Touch. Now he's gone down clutching his face. The Everton defender was Naismith. Everton feel that there's some play acting there from Luis García.
Not intentional. You get the free kick. You don't need the play acting. I think Naismith's biggest problem this afternoon really is joining in, making more movements into the middle and the final third. And it's been my biggest disappointment with Everton.
delivery from a wide position, brought a disallowed goal off the head of Sami Hyypiä. This time it's Alonso, and it's Kewell, and it's Crouch.
Well, he doesn't need the step ladder, he can get very high. Liverpool's back four now, happy to keep their shape. You won't see Finnan and Reese are going forward. They can afford to hold their ground.
Cahill. Yeah. To Naismith. Back goes Finnan for Liverpool. Pursued by Osman. And it isn't Everton Paul.
I think Finnan should have just volleyed that ball away. You can't afford to take chances there.
Do Everton have it in them to find an equaliser? 10 against 10. Reina came and missed. Cahill couldn't turn it goalwards.
Fair challenge by Stubbs. Crouch given the responsibility on Cahill. Did a good defensive job.
For a Liverpool throw. Liverpool, who've enjoyed this goal glut over the past 10 days, 15 goals in their last 3 games coming into this. Everton 1 defeat in 11 in the Barclays English Premier League. Hibbert, Sissoko, and again Tony Hibbert with interest. Cahill. Duncan Ferguson. Phil Neville.
Now the fullback should have been further forward when Neville's pushing coming.
Cahill. Osman couldn't get that. Crouch. García to Finnan. His first ever Liverpool goal was against Everton. Comes up with a corker to make it 3-1.
Well, the Copper delighted. But all Kewell did was relax. There you see, easy, nice effort at goal, practice match effort. Could Neville have closed in better? They allowed him the shot, they always invited him the shot. I think it was Hibbert that was in there. Decides to pull away from him instead of confront him. All he had to do was close him down and stand on the ball. It was a good drive, you give Kewell great credit. But Everton, not been their day.
Sums up their afternoon.
They had all the balls going in their favour when Gerrard was sent off, and they failed to turn that opportunity to advantage.
Played 55 minutes, 11 against 10 Everton.
David Moyes will be disappointed, but I do feel tactically they might have done a little bit better. I think McFadden particularly should have joined in with the midfield a little bit more and tried to win that area when they had the extra man. And I do believe the fullbacks have been far too slow when they've had this extra man to get forward and attack. They should have been racing forward all day long.
Maybe the result that puts an end to Everton's realistic hopes of a UEFA Cup place, which are always a little tenuous. There's Phil Neville coming in on Garcia. And the card count will increase still further. The 6th Evertonian to be yellow carded.
That's a fine, is it not?
It's a mandatory fine.
A mandatory fine. There's been some kind words written by one or two journalists this week about Phil Neville and his move to Everton and how he's settled down, and he has played exceptionally well for them, let's make no mistake. I just feel that in this game today they needed more of a craftsman in the centre, particularly when they had the extra man. It's amazing how a player can win over fans.
When you think of earlier in the season, Klopp didn't want to know about Harry Kewell. They felt he wasn't putting it in. Well, he stuck that one in with a great sense of timing. And it's his parting shot. Replaced by Stephen Warnock. Handshake from the manager. Applause ringing in those Australian ears from every corner of Anfield. And Stephen Warnock just comes on for a late cameo against his childhood friend Ian Osman.
Unconvincing Richard Wright there.
Wright, one of 5 goalkeepers employed by Everton this season.
Liverpool keep this resilience and passing form going. It's going to be a very close English semi-final of the FA Cup, drawn against Chelsea this week.
Still the best part of a month away, that game. There's Reina, helped by Alonso. And today, 3 points will take Liverpool above Manchester United for the first time in a while in the English Premier League table. They'll go a point clear of them, but they will have played 3 games more. Manchester United face Birmingham tomorrow. Alonso. Klopp singing Gerrard's name. He's not been with us for a while.
And we miss him.
Liverpool didn't miss him too badly. It's a good challenge by Naismith on Garcia. Everton are going to send on Joseph Yobo the last couple of minutes. There's Ferguson. There's Beattie.
He'll be not too happy with his afternoon either, Beattie. I thought it was a glorious opportunity today for him to show that he can be every bit as effective as Crouch. I'm afraid because of the service he's failed that test.
Everton on the point of losing their record of being one of only 3 teams in the English Premier League yet to be doubled by any opponent this season. It's 3-1 at Goodison back on December the 28th in favour of Liverpool. Everton still haven't made their change. Here is Neville, who would be replaced. Forward to Ferguson. Hurpier out. Naismith. Neville. Neville was penalised for the challenge with Sissoko. And Liverpool are also thinking of making a late substitution in the shape of Fernando Morientes, who will replace Peter Crouch.
He's done well, Peter Crouch. I'm sure that he felt rather isolated and lonely when Gerrard took the walk to the dressing room. He knew that he was going to play very much on his own. I don't think he could have foreseen that 70-odd minutes later they'd be in a position where they were 2 goals up. That's the unpredictability of football. And of course Mr. Dowd, who had such a busy first period and was under such great pressure, I would have thought, going into the half-time period. Even the referee has come out of the game with respectability.
He'll remember his first Merseyside derby there, won't he?
Oh, it's his first one. Well done, John.
Garcia couldn't quite get there ahead of Ferguson, but his cover from Carragher as so often. Garcia to Morientes. Alonso. Finally a non-Spaniard. Warnock from Ormskirk. Sissoko. Morientes by the penalty spot, joined by Garcia. Now Risa. 18 goals in 4 games for Liverpool now. This from the side that was struggling to score. Naismith error. Garcia! Struck it crisply enough.
There's a super strike. Shows the value of trying to hit the ball across the goal there. Richard Wright got down well, but it was a difficult ball to collect.
Second biggest crowd of the season. Only Tottenham have drawn more spectators to Anfield this season. A fair bit of admin to do. Phil Dowd. Oh, and there's going to be more still. The yellow card is out for the 11th time. To present it face to face. Tony Hibbert, the recipient. Seven Evertonians booked. 1 sent off, 1 Liverpool player dismissed, and 2 yellow carded. Risa, just to confirm, that was for dissent by Hibbert. It'll be pretty tough to be an Evertonian in Liverpool for the next few days, having played the majority of the game with a 1-man advantage, and yet come out in the end comfortably beaten for the 2nd time this season.
Some discussion in the English press this week about chairmen criticising players for lack of effort and lack of application for some of the salaries that are being taken, particularly at losing clubs. Portsmouth chairman's had a go. The Birmingham City chairman has spoken out. I have to say David Moyes will be very disappointed today with the anemic performance of some of the players.
Liverpool win the derby and do the double over their closest geographical rivals. Luis García, one of the goal scorers, the only one from Liverpool to remain on the pitch at the very end of the game. Harry Kewell applied the perfect finish 6 minutes from the end, and Liverpool leapfrog above Manchester United in the pursuit of 2nd place in the Barclays English Premier League. Comfortable in the end, both sides reduced by a man. Gerrard off for Liverpool in the first half, Van der Meyde for Everton in the second, but at full time it's Liverpool's day. 3-1 winners over Everton here at Anfield.